Have you ever wondered how an ordinary, sweet 10-year-old boy could be turned into a devoted Nazi? The film Jojo Rabbit dives right into this unsettling question. We meet Jojo, a kid who's all in on the Nazi ideology, eager to serve his country. His journey starts at a Jungvolk camp, a sort of Nazi boot camp for boys. The activities there, from book burnings to grenade practice, aren't just for fun. They're designed to mold these kids into loyal, unquestioning followers of the regime. It's a chilling look at how indoctrination works, turning youthful enthusiasm into something far more sinister. The Nazi regime knew that to secure its future, it had to capture the minds of its children. The entire education system was weaponized. Schools became factories for ideology, pushing anti-Semitism and the myth of Aryan superiority. Teachers had to be party members, and textbooks were filled with propaganda that demonized Jewish people, portraying them as monstrous caricatures. Beyond the classroom, programs like the Hitler Youth and the League of German Girls made being a Nazi the cool thing to do, ensuring that allegiance to the party was woven into every aspect of a child's life, from their friendships to their future aspirations. Back at home, Jojo's world is turned upside down. While grappling with the loss of his father and sister, he makes a shocking discovery. A Jewish girl named Elsa is hiding in the walls of his house. His own mother, Rosie, is secretly protecting her. This creates an incredible tension. On one side, you have Jojo, who's been taught to hate and fear people like Elsa. On the other, there's his mother, whose quiet defiance and humanity stand in stark contrast to the regime's cruelty. Suddenly, the enemy Jojo has only read about in propaganda is real, living, and breathing under his own roof. This is where Jojo's internal conflict really begins. His head is filled with all the absurd lies he'd just been told about Jews, that they have horns, sleep like bats, and can read minds. But when he looks at Elsa, he doesn't see a monster. He sees a person. This conflict is beautifully symbolized early in the film when he's nicknamed Jojo Rabbit for being unable to kill a rabbit to prove his toughness. That same compassion, buried under layers of hate, starts to surface. He's scared of Elsa, but he's also intensely curious. And his attempts to study her for his book on Jews become a way for him to see past the propaganda. A strange sort of friendship starts to form. Jojo, trying to gather Jewish secrets for his book, begins a series of conversations with Elsa. He thinks he's playing the role of a clever Nazi spy, but in reality, Elsa is the one in control, feeding him fantastical stories that play on his indoctrinated fears. Through these exchanges, we see just how deeply the societal poison has seeped into Jojo's mind. But at the same time, a protective instinct starts to emerge. He needs Elsa for his research, but it becomes more than that. He starts to see her as a person, someone to protect, not an enemy to destroy. The film brilliantly shows how all-encompassing Nazi propaganda was. It wasn't just posters and speeches. It infected everything, shaping how a child like Jojo viewed the world, friendship, and loyalty. His imaginary friend is none other than Adolf Hitler, a goofy, childish version of the dictator who gives him terrible advice. This highlights the stark difference between Jojo's indoctrinated world and the quiet humanity his mother, Rosie, tries to preserve. Rosie teaches him about love, dancing, and kindness, creating a secret, gentle world that directly opposes the harsh ideology Jojo is embracing outside their home. In Jojo's world, there's no room for different opinions. The Nazi regime brutally suppressed any form of dissent, ensuring that their narrative was the only one children heard. This lack of freedom of expression is crucial to Jojo's initial beliefs. He has no alternative viewpoints to consider, no one to challenge the lies he's being fed except for his mother, whose messages are subtle and dangerous. The film powerfully underscores how vital free speech is for personal growth. Without it, Jojo is trapped in an echo chamber of hate, unable to see the reality of his situation or the humanity of others. But despite everything, a real friendship begins to blossom between Jojo and Elsa. He starts to see her not as the Jew, but as Elsa, a clever, sarcastic, and resilient girl. This connection becomes incredibly complex and dangerous. A friendship with a Jewish person was forbidden and punishable by death, yet their bond deepens. This budding relationship symbolizes hope. It suggests that even the most deeply ingrained hatred can be overcome by genuine human connection. Jojo's heart is slowly winning the war against his brainwashed mind. The ever-present danger of this world becomes terrifyingly real when the Gestapo shows up for a surprise inspection. The tension is unbearable. Jojo, who once dreamed of being a top Nazi, is now desperately trying to protect Elsa. He has to lie and perform for the very people he once idolized to save her life. It's a powerful moment that forces him to choose a side. This scene perfectly captures the moral tightrope people had to walk under such an oppressive regime, where a wrong word or a nervous glance could mean death for everyone you care about. Jojo's world shatters when he discovers his mother has been executed for her resistance activities. Her bright, colorful shoes, once a symbol of her vibrant spirit and love for dancing, now hang lifelessly in the town square. This is the moment the fantasy of war dies and the brutal reality hits him. He's alone with Elsa as his only remaining family. In her grief and anger, Elsa reveals the truth about her own fiancé, shattering the fake letters Jojo had been writing to keep her hopeful. It's a harsh, painful stripping away of all illusions, forcing both of them to confront the devastating truths of their world. The final days of the war descend into chaos. The city becomes a battlefield, and children, including Jojo, are handed weapons and sent to the front lines in a last, desperate defense. He and Elsa are now bound together, navigating the destruction and loss. They find a strange new kind of family in each other, a bond forged in shared trauma and a desperate will to survive. The sight of boys his age playing soldier and dying for a lost cause is a final, brutal lesson on the true cost of the ideology he once cherished. In the end, Jojo chooses love. His journey is captured in the drawings he makes for his book. It starts as a manual of hate, filled with monstrous caricatures of Jews, but it slowly transforms. He starts drawing Elsa, capturing her realness, her beauty. When his imaginary Hitler, the last remnant of his indoctrination, angrily tells him to kill Elsa, Jojo finally finds the strength to kick him out of his life for good. He chooses Elsa, he chooses love, and in that moment, he frees himself. The film leaves us with a profound message about what it means to be human, to be an artist, in a world full of suffering. It's not about ignoring the pain and ugliness, but about seeing it, feeling it, and still choosing to find the beauty, the love, and the reasons to dance. True freedom, as Jojo and Elsa discover, is the freedom to feel, to love, and to embrace life, even in its darkest moments. Thanks for watching.